Welcome to Climate Quickies, bite-sized nuggets of climate goodness from our TEDxLondon experts in under 5 minutes.
In this week's Climate Quickie, we hear from Lauren MacDonald, a Scottish climate campaigner on a mission to stop fossil fuels, most notably with Stop Rosebank, Stop Cambo and Stop Jackdaw. Climate activists and protesters are doing essential work on the front lines. So why do they come under scrutiny for the methods they use to raise awareness? Given the climate emergency, we're asking, is there ever a right way to take climate action? Let's head over to Lauren to hear more about her approach to climate justice, from how she's protected ancient forests against HS2 to standing up to the CEO of Shell. Stay curious.
Hello, my name is Lauren MacDonald. I'm a Scottish climate campaigner fighting new North Sea oil and gas projects with the Stop Rosebank campaign. So currently I am working with the Stop Rosebank campaign, which is trying to stop the development of the Rosebank oil field, which is the biggest undeveloped oil and gas field in the North Sea. If it went ahead, it would create more CO2 than the 28 lowest income countries in the world produce in a year combined. So that's more CO2 from this one field in the UK than 700 million people in the global south produce in a year. So many of us are rising up against new fossil fuel projects in the UK, and I'm very honoured to be a part of that fight. Well, I think often in the climate fight, we often don't actually believe that we can win. We continued putting pressure on the UK government to reject Cambo, and in October 2021, as you know, I confronted the CEO of Shell at the TED Countdown Summit, which went completely viral. Millions of people saw that, and it really changed my life. But that was just one of many moments and many tactics in the Stop Cambo campaign that led to a situation where the pressure was so great against the Cambo development that actually in December 2021, Shell decided not to go ahead with the project, and then soon after, the Cambo oil field was officially put on pause. I don't think that there is one right way to protest climate action, but I do think that the fight for climate justice is a fight for everyone. There's absolutely not one right way to live your life. There's not one right way to fight for a better world, but we do need to fight for a better world. And I really believe that that's something that everyone should be getting involved in at this time. We are alive at such a crucial point in human history where we actually still have a chance to create a better world. We have a chance to create a fairer world where nature is able to thrive. Recently, as many people will be aware, fossil fuel companies recorded record profits for 2022. So Equinor, which is a Norwegian state-owned oil giant that wants to develop Rosebank, announced record profits of £62 billion in 2022, which is double what they made last year. Meanwhile, our energy bills are skyrocketing. So in response to that, the Stop Rosebank movement really took that as a moment to take action. We had protests across the UK, which also used diversity of tactics and a diversity of voices. So we had a protest at Equinor's offices in Aberdeen, which involved people from all across Scotland going to Aberdeen and making their voices heard outside Equinor. We also did the same thing on the same day in London. We recently ran a digital day of action where we had 100 people on Zoom leaving comments on Equinor's social media and calling them up to make their voices heard to Equinor. And that day, actually, Equinor shut down their ethics helpline, which I think is a really funny response to the pressure, but also just shows that when people come together and take what you might think is a really simple, small action, like taking a few minutes out of your day to make a phone call, when many people are doing that together, it actually makes a huge impact. Significant activism memories. My first protest that I went to was Fridays for Future climate strike in Glasgow. After that, the campaign against HS2, a government-sanctioned railway project that in its path cut down 108 ancient woodlands. For some time in 2020 was living on protest camps and engaging in like direct resistance against these trees being cut down. At that time was like really surprised by how much that actually affected me emotionally. And I think a lot of my like drive and determination has actually come from those kind of more difficult moments of like really seeing clearly the harm that is being done. A couple other significant moments that come to mind, confronting Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister of Scotland, about the Cambo oil field, confronting the CEO of Shell about the Cambo oil field. But I guess it kind of makes it seem as though like what I'm doing is like special in some way, because I've had these like opportunities that have like then ended up like going really viral or whatever. But I think actually the most of my significant moments really would come back to like the amazing people that I meet that just have so much like drive and determination to fight for a better world despite the odds. I would say if anyone in the UK is looking to get involved in climate action, you can join us at the Stop Rosebank campaign. There's so many different things that we can do, but the important thing is that we show up. You know, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have any experience. You just need to have a willingness to take action and to be in community with others who are trying to build a better world. The most important thing to get across is that this really is a fight for everyone. It's something that you can get involved in no matter who you are or what your experience is. You don't need to be an expert in climate change. You don't need to be an expert in anything really. You don't need to have any experience protesting to be involved in like fighting fossil fuels and fighting for climate justice. All you need to do is show up. If you want to learn more about the Stop Rosebank campaign, you can follow us on social media at Stop Cambo on all platforms. If you click our bio, you can see like a template to email your MP. So please, this will only take like 2 minutes of your time. That's one quick action that you can take today.
Thanks for listening to this quickie.
This episode was created by our superstar podcast team at TEDxLondon. Until next time,
Stay curious.